The Buffalo Bills. So after a win against the Broncos 48-18, they clinched their first division title since 1995. And I guess the question everybody wants to be answered is, are the Bills Super Bowl contenders? What do you think, Jack?
Yes. Yes, there's no question in my mind. And one of the biggest reasons for it is, well, the Chiefs are going to be the only team that should get in their way. In my opinion, right now, the Bills are the second best team in the AFC. The Steelers have shown their true colors over the past 3 weeks, and if they don't switch something, they're going to have major problems because, there's a difference between an undefeated team taking a loss and showing some bad signs, but this is like total red flag issues going on with the Steelers right now that I don't know can be fixed over the next 2 weeks. And
unless they fire somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And beyond that, I don't see anybody else in the AFC that is, there are teams, the Titans, the Browns, even the Colts are right there with the Bills. I think all of those teams can be in the same category, but if the Bills are playing at their best, there's no reason they aren't the second best team in the AFC. The problem is they have to get through the Chiefs, who I think are head and shoulders above everybody else in the NFL. But if we're talking on a basis of can they give themselves a shot to make it there, yeah, I think they can get to, the AFC Championship and be in a game with the Chiefs. I don't see any reason why that's not a possibility for them.
Yeah, I think they're Super Bowl contenders too. They only have to worry about the Chiefs. And I think I think when you lose to a team in the year that you might face them in the playoffs, it helps you because you have game film. You kind of know these players' tendencies. So they'll be more prepared to face them if they were to face off in the playoffs. I just want to give a shout out to the Bills because they built around Josh Allen how us Jet fans were hoping we would build around Sam Darnold. I mean, after his rookie year, what did they do? They went in, they got John Brown. They went in, they got Cole Beasley. And also, has anybody noticed that the Dallas Cowboys have not been the same since Cole Beasley left? That guy is a leader. He's a glue to a team. He's the NFL version of PJ Tucker. That's who Cole Beasley is. But they went out and they got Cole Beasley and John Brown in his sophomore year. Then they said, no, that's not enough. They go and trade for Diggs, who's the number one receiver. And everybody knows in the offseason, the whole thing about Diggs and Allen was, okay, Diggs is a deep threat receiver. Allen is an inaccurate deep ball thrower. How is this going to work? And they've proven everybody wrong. Diggs is having one of the best seasons of his career, if not the best. Josh Allen's completion percentage has jumped up tremendously. He's in the MVP conversation. And Cole Beasley's on pace to have 1,000 yards this season. He's only 50 yards away. I mean, I think the Bills' offense is clicking on another level that Bills fans haven't seen in a long time. And their defense is getting back to its form. Last year, they were very elite. But what did we say last year about the Bills? Their schedule was pretty easy.
Yeah.
This year, the schedule was tougher. And they're kind of like a middle-of-the-pack defense in terms of yards given up. So, maybe that ranking last year was kind of what this year was. They were like the same defense, just if they were to face weird competition this year, that defense would have been way higher. But I think that defense is still capable of getting stops on third downs. They're still very stingy. Tre'Davious White is one of the best corners. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Tremaine Edmonds, who's a Pro Bowler. They're going to be a very good defense, and I think this is a time where they're going to start clicking.
Yeah, and especially with as high-powered as that offense is, you don't need a lockdown defense.
Yep.
You just need to be able to get the ball in Josh Allen's hands. And people can go back, and maybe I'm mistaken on this, but when I came on as a guest, we talked about the Bills way early in the season, like first week of the season or leading up to the season. We were skeptical about the Bills, but even though Bills fans got really angry at us, the only thing I said about the Bills was the season hinged on Josh Allen. If Josh Allen could take that step, which I didn't think he was going to do, they could be a great team and they'd run away with the AFC East. And he did that and more. He's become an MVP candidate, and look at that. They're the second best team in the AFC. So, I think we were pretty on the money about this because they have built so well around him, and anybody could have seen this coming based on Josh Allen's play. And I give all the credit in the world to Josh Allen because he did everything he had to do to come in this season and have a great year. It was about accuracy. It was about becoming smarter at the quarterback decision, making better decisions. And you can see it in his game. Even week to week, he's improved in that decision making, making the right throw, knowing when to make certain plays and when to just give up on it. He has been everything they've needed this year, and he's the reason they're there. And I just wanted to say, speaking about can they compete for a Super Bowl, I was listening to SportsCenter this morning, and they were talking about the college football playoff, and they had Brian Kelly on. Brian Kelly, the head coach at Notre Dame, and they were asking him about what the line is against Alabama and if they have any chance, and he laughed, and he said, the great thing about college football is that, or the great thing about football is I don't have to go in and beat Alabama 10 times. I have to be the best team in the stadium on New Year's Day. And that's the only time that I need to be better than Alabama for one game. Do I think that the Bills can be better than the Chiefs for one game? It's possible. They don't have to beat them. 9 times out of 10, the Chiefs win that football game. But all they need is that one.
The Chiefs' red zone offense has been pretty bad this year, one of the worst in the NFL. And you look at the Chiefs that a lot of the times they start out flat. If the Bills face them when the Chiefs start out flat and the Bills are rolling, and now you're up, and you just have to hold the lead. We've seen Mahomes do it and the Chiefs do it before, but, I mean, that's a position that I would – every team would love to be in. The position that the Texans were in last year, 24-0, that's a position any team would take. Even if the Chiefs were to come back, you'll take it. So I think the Bills can be the best team against the Chiefs if they were to face in the playoffs for a game. And yeah, I think Josh Allen's MVP play has elevated the Bills. Stephon Diggs has elevated the Bills. And that defense, the coaching staff, everybody in the Bills organization deserves a lot of credit, and so do the fans that stuck around through this whole process to finally get it right. I think, that's what every fan hopes for. In this season alone, we'd had those stories. The Browns finally in the playoffs after their playoff slump. The Bills winning the division since 1995. A lot of good storylines around the NFL, and the Bills are one of them.
Yeah, and one more point. You look around the AFC, and if you want to beat the Chiefs, you got to be able to score with the Chiefs. The Steelers, I don't trust the Steelers' offense to score with the Chiefs. Same thing with the Colts. I don't know if Phillip Rivers can hang with Patrick Mahomes. Same thing with the Dolphins. I don't know if Tua can duel it out with Patrick Mahomes. He did that, so, whatever. But in a playoff game, I don't trust Tua head-to-head against Patrick Mahomes and that Dolphin offense, especially if they're not healthy. The Titans, Ryan Tannehill has been very good this year, so yeah, they have a shot. The Browns, Baker Mayfield is such an enigma. You never know what you're going to get out of him on any given week. He's been really good the past few weeks, but you just never know what you're going to get out of him. So I think that the Bills, with the way their offense has played this season, I really do think they have the best chance in the AFC to go head-to-head with the Chiefs. But, again, it's just that one team they have to get through. But, I think Bills fans are very happy with this season. No matter how it ends up, you can't ask for much more than this. One of their best seasons ever. And, who knows? Maybe they get lucky on that one given day. It's all they need.
And always in the moment when your team loses, of course, you feel bad. But even if they have a great season and end up losing, this will be one of the better moments as a fan that they'll have in a while if they don't end up winning a Super Bowl. We're Jets fans. We still have nostalgia over the 2009 and 2010 seasons where we made the AFC Championship. Even though it didn't end in the Super Bowl, those are still some of the best years of our fandom when we were a Jets fan. So even if you end up losing, those moments are what you cherish, even if they do lose.
Yeah, and they'll be back next year. This team is not going anywhere. They still have a really nice young core, and they'll run it back next season. So they're in a good shape, and I think they're in a good shape this year to really compete in the AFC.